Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and joining me is Tyler Bevel.
Hey.
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello.
This is our Week 13, 4 o'clock Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football game slate preview. Fresh off of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
How was it, Tyler?
Food was great. Family was awesome. Football wasn't that good.
Yeah. I would agree. I have no arguments. Yeah. A lot of good food, man. Mitchell, how about you?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic lazy day.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Good food and lounging around with good people.
Same. A lot of lounging. Did anyone make a second trip?
Oh, yeah.
We ate at two places because we went to Chelsea's mom's house and went there afterwards. Yeah,
You had no choice in that case. Like, you can't upset.
No, like they
What you
ate earlier, so everything was put away. But they're like, "Hey, do you want some food?" And it's like, "Well, yeah, it's been a couple hours now."
Yeah. Any surprises as far as food that was available?
Yeah. Oh man. My mom's fiance Adam made this thing. It was like and I can't think of the name of it. It was like a French name, and it was baklava.
Baklava. Yeah, it's a
Baklava.
dessert.
Okay. Yeah, he made that and he pulled it off. It was really good. I've never had that before in my life. That was the thing that I walked up and I was like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh man,
Isn't it like layers of pastry?
yeah, it's really flaky."
Yeah.
And it's a rich texture, like a rich taste for sure. But it was really good.
Yeah.
That was like the one dish that I was like, didn't know what it was. That I was like, "Man, that's pretty good. That's different."
How many deviled eggs did you eat?
I can't disclose that information.
I ate so many, man.
Like I sneak some. Like I probably have more than my share. Like
I walked in.
as soon as they come out, like I go out and get one.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. I walked into Mom's house. I walked straight into her kitchen. I was like, "Hey, Mom," hug, kiss. And I looked at the table and I was like, "Oh, the deviled egg platter." Grab one.
Yep.
And then I ate another one or two before I carved the turkey. And then I had I had 2 plates.
And then
of
like
food.
even when I sit down to eat,
Oh,
I'm the
yeah.
only pig that has 2 deviled eggs at my
every single
like,
time.
I can't-
Yeah. Even when I went for plate 2, it's like, well, I need 2 deviled eggs sitting over here in the corner.
Right.
Can't have the gravy.
Let's
touching
not be
them.
ridiculous. My mom is pretty prepared though. Like when she makes deviled eggs, her tray is huge.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mom's got a massive
Yeah.
tray of deviled eggs. Anything where you were like, "Hey, this is different."
Not this year. I think this year is pretty standard, but
Yeah.
I mean, the classics are so good. I didn't mind.
Was there anything that anyone was looking forward to and got there and it's just like, nobody made it this year? Oh, no.
Oh, I tried a Thanksgiving burrito.
Oh, how was it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right,
I'm
man.
surprised I didn't send you a message when I did it, but I tried it. Yeah.
Nice, man.
This
Nice.
morning.
My grandparents make so much food. I just don't know how there's anything. It just seems like they just cover the map. Like they did 2 turkeys.
Nice.
Yeah, like they did one in the regular oven, and then my grandfather had this roaster oven out in the garage. And
Yeah.
that thing was good. The roaster oven turkey was awesome.
I bet. I had I was missing one thing and I was like, "Oh, no. Mom didn't make the broccoli and cheese
Aw.
casserole."
Did you tell her you're not coming next year?
Yeah. Going to mother-in-law's next year.
Yeah.
I can't be doing
Yeah.
this. No.
This was fun.
No, I didn't do that. All right. Yeah, the games were a little.
Yeah.
Hey, just a quick note at the beginning. I'd like to say, in case people, don't listen to the outro, which why would you? I guess. Our Tuesday shows that come out are going to go on the shelf for a while, doing some retooling. Reformatting of some things.
For
and
sure.
Putting some different thoughts in, changing some things up. It'll be back next season, maybe even in the off season. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, but we'll figure it out and we'll let you know when we know. But we're going to continue this trend of no reaction shows. And at this point, free agents get pretty slim. Have your handcuffs, and we'll mention that stuff throughout as we go too. I'm sure. So, all right. With that said, let's get into 4 o'clock games. We'll start with the Rams at the Saints. So, Kyron Williams. He has now gone 4 straight games with no more than 11 PPR points. He did get in the end zone last week against the Eagles, but he lost a fumble. Even still, without losing the fumble, he's at minimum 13. And, maybe that drive continues. Maybe he finishes with 16 or so. He's not getting any passing work. 2 straight games with 0 catches. I don't know. get right game on deck here for the Saints?
I hope
against the
so.
Saints?
I don't like the lack of involvement in the passing game because I feel like that's such a big part of his fantasy
It started that way.
output. But yeah,
I mean, he's just got games with 4, 5, and 6 catches.
Yeah.
Which I think 5 might be his most, but still, 5 is great. Yeah, I really gotta think like this gets right.
They played a lot without Cooper Kupp last year.
Did we miss on him as a sell high?
I don't know, maybe, but it was hard to read. I will say this though: they played a lot without Cooper Kupp last year. The games without Puka and Kupp in there, he has definitely been more involved in the passing game.
Yep.
And I do worry a little bit that with both those guys in there, that he's not getting the looks that he might get.
I think you pretty well hit it on the head. I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because we noted that a couple weeks ago. It's like, hey, yeah, I mean, when you go back and look at the games without and the games with, like there is a difference.
Right, sure.
It's pretty clear. So I don't know. One thing you can be happy about is the Saints are 28th against the running back position. We're not sitting here saying that Kyron's not a capable running back. Absolutely is.
Yeah.
I feel like this is 4 straight weeks of you got to feel like it's coming here.
Maybe missed on the sell high, but I give you props if you read that, caught the Kupp and Puka thing early and said sell high. I mean, good for you.
We had kind of bounced it back and forth. Like, should we get concerned? Should we? And maybe if we were concerned, we would have pushed the sell high side. But it's hard to get concerned about Kyron Williams. Or something.
It is.
It's just,
and I think we're going talent over.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Saints 28th against the running back position. I mean, I do have some faith this week.
Okay.
Can we get closer to 15? That'd make me feel better. You're starting Kupp. You're starting Nakua. And to make you feel even better, the Saints are 28th against the receiver position. So we're not. I mean, what do you say? You start Kupp. You start Nakua. They're both elite. Stafford or Carr? Stafford. Yeah. I mean, come on. I don't know how you can even make an argument, quite honestly. The Rams have gotten a little tougher against the run, unless your name is Saquon Barkley, but it doesn't matter. Start Kamara. Start Kamara. All right. Are we feeling good on Taysom Hill this week?
Why not?
I mean, the opportunity's crazy.
Right. You have Kamara and Hill. Those are your 2 weapons on offense. And
maybe a deep bomb.
MVS. Yeah, with a deep bomb.
Would you start him over Evan Ingram?
Yep.
Would you start him over Kyle Pitts?
I have a thing about that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a. Wait till we get to Would You Rather. We'll see how much we like Taysom.
Gotcha.
Really? So we went with. I'm sorry. Was it Taysom over Ingram?
Yeah.
Taysom over Pitts?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You have anything else for this one? I mean, I don't know what else to.
No.
There's not a whole lot. Let's move on to the Buccaneers at the Panthers. A little more content here for this one. Well, who finishes ahead of the other? Rachaad White or Bucky Irving?
Bucky Irving finishes on top
this week.
Yep.
I'll take Bucky as well. And can we please stop it with Sean Tucker? Stop it.
Yeah.
Please stop. I get it. He's big. I like him too. But let Bucky.
I like him too. He seems like a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah. But let's, let Bucky get his payoff for all these efforts marching you down the field. Like he gets you all the way down there and it's just like, you're on the 1. It's 1st and goal from the 1. Why are you sending in Sean Tucker?
Yeah, it's like
let Bucky finish it, man.
Yeah.
Like, he just marched you down the field.
I get it. I kind of like it though.
Yeah.
It's like old school, but it sucks for Bucky. Yeah. In my fantasy numbers, I have Bucky a lot. Yeah. But like the big guy coming in at the end, like I don't know. It's like the All-Star days, kind of like put him in.
All-Star would run it all over.
To All-Star's credit though, he blocked the whole way down the field. Like it was a different.
Yeah. Listen, Mr. Bowles, I'm begging you, more Bucky. So Bucky Irving, 15th in fantasy points per opportunity with one fantasy point every opportunity. That's
every time he touches the ball, he gets a point.
He's 12th in receptions. So you're getting some extra passing down work with him. That's clearly helping, right? He's almost like several games where he matches Rachaad White in receptions.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're getting that with he's definitely, as far as the ground game, he is better than Rachaad White.
Baker's looking for guys out of the backfield, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you better than Rachaad White on the ground. Now you're adding, the receptions.
Yeah, definitely a capable pass catcher.
You get that extra passing down work with what he's doing on the ground. Even when they're splitting carries, it's wild. So yeah, it's not just White catching passes out of the backfield. He's first in catch rate at 94%. He is a little over 2 yards per route run, which is 11th. He is 6th in true yards per carry with 4.9. So true yards per carry. You remove all the runs that went 10 yards or more per carry. It eliminates the big runs that can give you the skewed stat.
I'm glad you said that because I was just going to be like, okay, I'm not to sound stupid, but I don't know what true yards per carry are versus regular yards per carry.
Yeah. So
that's a cool stat. I like it.
Yep. You remove anything that went 10 yards or more. Like that helps, gives you a more of an unskewed stat. It's
nice.
Wow.
No, I like it.
He had that 70-yard run that one time. It's that's not even taken into consideration in this. So that I like that stat too, man. It
takes away the 11 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown, but he had a 72-yard run.
Yeah. So it shows you how truly efficient a running back is. You know what I mean? And for context, if you add his runs of 10 yards or more per carry, if you add that back in to just it's 5.4 yards per carry. So, and what I say is 4 point what now without it? 4.9. Yep, when you remove them. So that's 6th in yards per touch with 5.9. So that's just yards per touch. 3rd in yards created per touch, just over 5 yards.
Makes people miss too.
Yep. 11th in evaded tackles. To your point. I could go on and on and on. This guy's great. So I was not real big on Bucky Irving when he was drafted. Tyler was.
Yeah, I like Bucky.
We did a rookie revisited. I stayed off of it. So here's your flowers, Tyler.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Bravo. Good call, man. All right, I'll stop glowing over Bucky Irving now.
Do you have anything else you want to add about Bucky Irving? Okay, so here's the question. Is this the moment in time in a dynasty league that you're starting to think okay, the talent is starting to outweigh the timeshare, it's starting to outweigh everything. This is a guy that I want for the future.
Yeah, it depends on your boat.
Sure.
He's not going to be a cheap get now, that's for sure.
You're rebuilding, middle of the road. You got some good players. You've had one good year of a rebuild that's been successful. You're maybe not in contention yet, but you're
How many years out are you?
Depends. Let's say 1 or 2 if you have a good year.
Let's say you're 2 years out.
Okay.
I could go get Bucky Irving. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
And what am I giving up for it?
1st round pick.
Nope.
No?
No way. Nope. I would rather continue the rebuild, see where I'm at after this year. And then if I'm looking at it and going, okay, now I'm ready to compete next year, then I'll go get the running back.
For a 1st round pick?
Maybe.
Yeah, that year when you're more
but I want
right there on the cusp of it. Maybe just need that back or something.
Yeah, for example, in our Keystone Kings Dynasty League, I just avoided running backs. I avoid, and then it got to the point where I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, I'm ready now. Here's this pick for Derrick Henry, and here's this pick for Saquon Barkley. All right, now I'm competing.
What'd you give for them? Do you remember?
I had Dalton Kincaid and Trey McBride. Not looking great at the moment, but I gave McBride for Saquon, and I got a future 2nd. And then in his tight end premium. For Derrick Henry, I gave a 2nd.
Yeah, Derrick Henry for a 2nd one was a super good deal. The McBride one's pretty.
Yeah, but I now have Kelsey. I still have Kincaid floating around. I'm winning right now.
Yeah.
So to me, it's I wanted to keep McBride, but I would like to have Barkley.
But the other side of that is so you still wouldn't give up a 1st round pick, even if you thought that running back position could be secure for 3 or 4 years.
No, because if I'm a team that's still 2 years out, there's a really good chance that pick is a quarterback. And are we talking super flex? I guess I should have asked that.
Yeah.
Then I want the quarterback. Yeah.
Not super flex.
Unless, but there's so much other context to look at that. What if I have 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Like,
bigger picture. Like, I think if a lot of situations, but this is a time where I would want to maybe make a run at Bucky Irving in both circumstances. If I'm going to win now, and if I'm maybe a year or two out, because I don't mind having him on my roster. I'm not saying I'm giving up a 2025 first round, but if I could get away with getting him for a 27 first round, probably.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to argue that.
Okay.
I mean, if things go the way we think, only 2 years from now, like, he's going to be what?
You would hope the
24?
RB1 at that point, like,
yeah,
a
and
full,
what, 24 years old, and
right?
You're ready to compete. Yeah, and yeah. You know, I changed my mind. Yeah, I would buy him.
I just thought it was an interesting thing to bring up for.
But also, like, it depends. Like, if I already had 2 quarterbacks, I wouldn't be so concerned about it. So I might pay that, saying, like, especially if I was, probably win now the next year with a good off season, then I probably would. Sometimes I overthink the running back thing, like on the side that I just took, almost to a fault. It's just worked for me. For some reason, my intuition was to say no right away, but
I think it's definitely something
in 2 years he could be a top 5 back, and I could totally see that.
And the other variable we're not thinking about is that maybe you can actually get him cheaper than, like, because you don't know people's values in your league. Maybe you could actually get him cheaper than we're even saying.
Right.
Or,
send somebody a player maybe you don't feel so great about, but they do.
Yeah.
Value Bucky.
A Mike Evans or something that's still even a good player.
Sure.
With a pick or something, you get Bucky Irving.
I would give okay. And looking at it that way, if I'm a team who says I'll be ready in 2 years, but I have this 29-year-old stud that's not really going to be worth anything to me, but this guy has Bucky Irving and he's competing right now, I'll
make that move. Yeah.
Sure. I'll send him Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He's 30, but yeah, I would. Mike Evans.
I just think you're right on the cusp of, like, and you're taking a risk too, but I think if Bucky Irving gets a full workload within those next 2 or 3 years, man.
I tell you what I'd like to do is send the vet for Bucky Irving and then use the first for the quarterback. In a perfect
You
world.
can't have everything, Chad.
Well, sure you can. if you're taking your out, if we're sending a player, then you certainly can. You don't have to worry about it.
I was just making a joke. I'm sorry.
No, this is serious.
Okay.
It's always serious when we talk Bucky, but we should probably move on.
Okay.
You're starting Mike Evans, unless you're trading him for Bucky Irving in your dynasty league.
Right.
You're starting Cade Otton. I am anyhow. Tyler?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Any other pass catchers?
Rashad White.
And Bucky Irving?
Yeah.
Start Baker Mayfield. I would not recommend Bryce Young outside of a desperation superflex. Though I have to admit he did show some growth against the Chiefs. I don't know how much we can expect that to continue, but I watched it and I went, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Looked a little better.
Didn't do bad to sit behind Andy for a couple games, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Long road there. Yeah, I think, but with the whole franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't want to start anyone not named Chuba Hubbard.
No.
No. I think Chuba can get you solid numbers, though. Tampa's 26 against the running back position. But Chuba is also, I think at this point, matchup proof. I think we've already touched on that. And I'm not really concerned about Jonathan Brooks.
No, me either.
It's kind of starting to play itself out. And maybe, you know what? In real life, he shouldn't be a problem right now. It's like, why don't you guys just, like, you got Chuba signed. Let this kid get healthy. There's no reason to force this.
Right.
Like, maybe get him a few reps, which it seems like they did.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy at all.
Nope.
Maybe something like that for the year, and then come back next year with this two-headed monster, apparently, that you're going to approach with, right? Anything else for this one?
No.
All right. Let's move on to the Eagles at the Ravens. Hurts or Jackson?
Hurts.
I'll take Hurts. I just like the Eagles' defense a little more. That's the only thing that sways me just a little.
I like both these quarterbacks in this game. It was tough, but I'm going to give Hurts the edge. Yeah.
Are they? What is Lamar? Is he 1 or is he 3? First? The QB1?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm actually not sure. I don't think it really matters. This is a weekly thing we're talking about. He is first. I think Hurts is 4th. He is. But whatever. I mean, you're splitting hairs there. Start them both, obviously. But yeah, I don't know, the defense, I think the Eagles defense is legitimate. Like I really do. Like I think this is a thing. So just because of that, like I think there's not a whole lot of pass catchers to make them like they can just kind of focus on Zay. I mean, Deontay's just something's just it doesn't seem like it's Bateman can't catch. Like all of it, like he just did he have a touchdown though? I feel like he scored a touchdown?
Yeah, he has one.
Did he just have one here last week?
He might have even had like a 2-touchdown game at one point this year. No.
He might have. I think he did have a touchdown right here. I have it pulled up. He did. He only had 3 targets, 43 yards, and a touchdown. He had 12 PPR points, but like I just think this defense could give some problems outside of Henry, who you're starting.
Yeah.
You're starting Saquon. Be a nice test for both of them, though, I think, right?
Yeah. Saquon's got this in the bag. He's going to have a good game.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about Henry than Saquon. I'm still starting both of them, though, obviously. So
yeah, I mean, this is just one of those deals where it's like, oh, whatever, man. Your stud is also up against a studly defense. Like, just roll with it, and you hope that your stud prevails, right?
Yeah.
You're starting AJ Brown. Devonta Smith could play. Last I looked, the Ravens are terrible against the receiver and quarterback position. So if Devonta plays, and let me double check, what is he to you this week?
Flex.
He's a flex or a wide receiver 3. He is still questionable, which I figured he would be. He's listed as questionable. So, he's a wide receiver 3. Like this whole thing, when everyone's healthy, just for some reason he's just like. But I don't know. Does the pass defense he's against help, or is it just a bigger boost for AJ Brown?
Bigger boost for AJ Brown. I would lean towards more of a Goddard week.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah, rank the tight ends. Goddard, Andrews, likely.
Just like that.
Yep. I think so too. Any concern for Zay Flowers?
No, I'm starting him.
Yeah.
There's concern.
Yeah.
The Eagles going. Quinion Mitchell's for real.
Yeah, he is. And you might be able to afford to fade him. And like in a 10-man league, you might be able to get away with. If
Cooper DeJean's been good though too. I mean, there's 2. But I'm still starting him.
Sure. I doubt you can fade him in a 12-man league. Like,
no.
You probably in a 10-man. You might maybe you picked up Cortland Sutton.
Maybe you can make that argument this week.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I think in a 10-man league, if you can fade him and you have something like a Sutton, I would be okay with something like that. Maybe you have Zay, and maybe you're trying to make a decision between Zay and JSN or something.
Right.
You could, but in a 12-man, it's going to be awful tough. Do you have anything else for this one? All right, let's move on to Sunday Night Football. The 49ers at the Bills. Purdy looks like he has a chance to play this weekend.
I hope so.
Faith level, if he does.
Pretty good.
Let me make sure that nothing has changed. And of course I have it. Yep. He's questionable still. So monitor it. I don't know, man. Things don't look right without Trent Williams at all. Even it just
dude's an
it's
anchor.
Crazy how much that.
It's tough because I'll be honest. I love football. I watch a ton of football. You don't really watch that left tackle position all the time. But I mean, he's like top 100. He's always like one of the best guys. Like when they do that, I mean,
yeah,
perennial All Pro. He's doing something good there.
Yeah, he's unlikely to play. Like it's so. At minimum though, with Purdy back, it gives the pass catchers a boost.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm getting thin on patience with Debo.
Yeah.
Like something happens this week, or I'm going to start changing my tune on.
Hey, who I'm not thin on patience with Purdy's playing is Juwan Jennings.
High end flex, receiver 2.
Receiver 2, give me it. If Purdy's playing.
This is like wicked winds. Lots of snow possible here.
He'll run a couple drags across the middle.
Yeah. It sounds like the weather could be quite nasty, actually. Lake effect stuff. So
keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah.
That can greatly affect fantasy outcomes.
Absolutely. I would like to fade unless you're a Bill. Like if it's real bad like that, man, heavy snow, wicked wind, below 20, lake effect stuff, man, that can be, like I'm okay with it with Bills players for the most part. James Cook, Josh Allen, fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to worry about the pass catchers in general.
Yeah.
You have to start CMC, I think, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this thing gets going, but with everything I just said, I don't know. The Bills are 30th against running backs. I mean, CMC played in the Carolinas. He's
all right.
Yeah. And like we said, start Josh Allen. The Niners are currently 23rd against the running back position, so we should feel pretty safe with James Cook this week at home. He's RB13 so far in the year. The volume, generally speaking, is always there. You got to start him. Feel good about it. Lake effect weather or not.
Right.
So actually, like the lake effect weather might help him. I don't know. Some running backs run in snow really well. It doesn't bother them. So I think I would put James Cook in that category. He's been around this stuff long enough at this point.
Played in some cold games for sure.
For sure. Keep your eyes on Keon Coleman, questionable with a wrist injury. Assuming he plays, how do we feel about the receiver group? Like, how do they finish? Rank them. Shakir, Cooper, and Coleman. I'll go that. Shakir, Cooper, Coleman.
Shakir, Coleman, Cooper.
Okay. The wrist thing is seems like it's a real problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the only reason.
I expected that to be better.
Yeah. And again, this weather,
I mean, I expected the Cooper thing to be better.
Right.
So that's for me why he's free.
What sucks with the weather though is there's Sunday night football.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to make it tough. So
right.
Monitor it pretty heavy. And if you have other options, it could be better than these pass catchers at least. Might maybe think about it. Like guys like we said, Sutton and JSN, maybe fade your Debo and your Juwan Jennings. And Juwan Jennings, you should be able to, unless he's been like a savior for you.
Right.
So just keep an eye on it. Maybe, weather's weird. I would watch it, like the morning of is when it's going to really, that you can get away then if you've got enough players. So it's what really sucks is if you got a lot of guys play over these last few days, you might not be able to. So Kincaid is out. Dawson Knox or nah?
If you need a spot start tight end where you got to grab a guy off of waivers, yeah, maybe. But other than that, no.
Again, someone like Dawson Knox, he's been around this stuff. He can play in this kind of weather. All right, anything else here?
Nope.
All right, let's move on to Monday Night Football. And we have the Browns at the Broncos. Scary matchup for Jameis and his Cleveland Browns. Are you interested in any Browns players outside of Chubb or Njoku?
Yep.
All right, tell me.
Sucker for the revenge games. Give me Judy.
All right.
At Surtain 2-0. I'll take it.
Well, the thing there is he bounces around.
He does, but
somebody's going to pay off, whether it's him or Tillman or Moore.
Give me Judy on the return back to Denver.
Judy, Tillman, Moore.
Yeah,
that order.
Yep.
Yeah. What makes this so hard to tell is again, Surtain bounces around.
Well, and the point we were just making, weather.
Yeah.
The weather of the last game didn't really give you a good, accurate wide receiver stats for the Browns.
Yeah, it was tough. Denver is 4th against the receiver position, which I think we all understand that. 10th against tight end position, 15th against the running back position. So we already called it Judy, Tillman, Moore. I agree with that. How about Chubb?
I feel like if you got to a point and you're okay without Chubb, then you want to go elsewhere.
Yep, I would agree. What do you get, 14 in that game? But it's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, because he had to be a stash at the beginning of the season. So you're thinking if you were doing okay without Chubb and you just have him as an extra player on your bench, put one of the other guys in this week. I want to fade that a little bit.
And Njoku?
I'd give Njoku a start.
Yeah, I would too. Jameis likes him, man.
Yep.
Start Cortland Sutton every week at this point. No buys. So is there interest in any other pass catchers for the Broncos? And also, there's been
in a tight spot.
million games.
Give me Devon Vele.
Yeah, I'd take Vele. Yep, he's the one.
Yep.
And on a dice roll, yep. How are we feeling about Bo Nix here? Pretty good at this point?
Yeah.
Like the Browns defense isn't that scary. I mean, Bo's played fine against tougher defenses. So, yeah, I would start Bo Nix this week.
Me too.
Yep, I would start him. I'd like to avoid the entire Denver backfield. Peyton just...
Until further notice.
Yeah, yeah. He just does weird stuff, Sean Payton. You know, it's...
Yeah, you're only a good running back because of the way I coach.
It's just so volatile, though. Like you don't know what I think it's just time we accept it, and I'm staying away from it.
Yeah.
You just don't ever know. Like someone is literally going to have to go down. Not that I'm rooting for it, but someone's going to have to go down. You know, as far as injury goes, for you to lean on anybody, kind of.
Yeah, Peyton's going to find his guy.
Whoever starts, some guy from the practice squad will come in and get 70 yards rushing. Yeah. Like you just never know with him. So yeah, you want to avoid it. Right? Yeah. Start the Denver D.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's it for the games. That was really quick.
That was.
Outside of Bucky Irving. Boy, we really got into that.
Bucky!
Okay, no more games. Let's go on to Tyler's Week 13 DFS.
We have... Back out of this here. At quarterback, Kyler Murray for 6,100 going up against Minnesota. It's at Minnesota. But I thought it was a pretty cheap price point for Kyler Murray. Brian Robinson Jr. with no Austin Eckler going against Tennessee at Washington. Bucky Irving going against the Carolina Panthers, 32nd ranked run D for only 5,800. One of my favorite plays this week. Puka Nacua for 7,600 going against New Orleans. Devon Vele for 4,400. In that Cleveland-Denver game we just talked about. I feel like it's a cheap enough point that you're taking the risk on them there. Marvin Harrison Jr. at Minnesota. Minnesota is actually 32nd ranked against wide receivers for fantasy points, so I like the Marvin Harrison play this week. Will Dissly, who's been on a pretty good run as of late, at the Atlanta Falcons. 4,000 though for the price point, so
yeah,
felt good about that. And then we went with Aaron Jones in the flex for 6,500 at that Arizona-Minnesota game. Arizona's ranked 22nd against running back, so felt good about that play. And then the Houston Texans defense for 3,500 going against Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like it. You expecting Kyler and Harrison to bounce back a little this week?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
I think this is a good matchup for him.
Excuse me. Lord. All right. That's Tyler's Week 13 DFS. Let's move on to Sneaky Start of the Week. I'm going to go with Kamani Vidal at Atlanta. No Dobbins this week. Let's be honest. You know, Gus Edwards isn't exactly a playmaking running back. He'll chug it down the field for you. Or does it matriculate the ball down the field?
Yeah. Was that the old Chiefs coach?
Yeah. Keep matriculating the ball down the field. And that's kind of what Gus Edwards does. He's, Vidal is a bit of a playmaker. So he's quite a playmaker. So listen, it's a dice roll, but he's getting an opportunity. I think he can hit 10 PPR points is the goal here. So I think he can hit that. If you're in some kind of a pinch, whether it's injury related or whatever it may be. I would sneak Kamani Vidal into my flex if I had to.
I like it.
This is a scramble. This is like a mad scramble. So, give me a couple passes, a couple receptions with a somewhat decent chunk of yardage.
Yeah, he gets one big play.
And if he can get in the end zone
30, 40 yards, yeah.
Yep. So, Kamani Vidal.
I like it. I went with Jeremy McNicholas with Austin Eckler being out.
Okay.
Probably a guy you could probably pick up off of waivers. He had a couple games where he did good in the absence of one of these guys earlier in the year. He actually had a game where he had 20 fantasy points, and then he had another game where he had 10.4, both where guys were missing time. So, guy you could maybe pick up off of waivers to throw in there, and hopefully he gets Get you 10 points.
He's going to get an opportunity of some kind. For sure. And they use him close up. Like
he might get some goal line work.
Yep.
Like you might get that touchdown.
Yep. I mean, all three of them can be healthy, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Jeremy McNichols in there inside the 5. So.
It's better. Like he doesn't do a lot though. When like if he might plunge one in, he'll have like a 7-point game or something. But
yeah, I think Vidal and McNichols both are going to need to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Unless Vidal can do something in the passing game that ends up being
splash play.
relevant. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's move on to my favorites. Would you rather? All right, Ty, you ready?
Yeah.
Just thinking cap on. Here we go. Quarterback, would you rather Geno Smith at the Jets or CJ Stroud at the Jaguars?
CJ Stroud.
I will take CJ Stroud. I like him to get right in this one. Anthony Richardson at the Patriots or Will Levis at the Commanders?
Will Levis has been playing a little bit better football, but I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson.
This is a tough one for me. This is a tough one for me because this is actually one that I'm potentially having to deal with. I think I'm going to go Will Levis.
I'm down, Nick.
yeah. Nick kind of convinced me, actually.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I haven't totally made up my mind, but I think I'll go Will Levis.
Oh.
All right. Would you rather James Conner at the Vikings or Brian Robinson Jr. versus the Titans?
That's a tough one for me. With Eckler out, give me Brian Robinson Jr.
This Vikings run defense it's just not a good get right game for Conner after the last outing. Oh, boy, the Titans are. I'll agree with you. Let me go Brian Robinson Jr. Would you rather Bucky Irving at the Panthers?
Bucky Irving.
Or Chuba Hubbard versus the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Bucky Irving, honestly.
I'm going to stick with Bucky as well.
Yeah.
Would you rather Nick Chubb at the Broncos or Travis Etienne versus the Texans?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb falls into the end zone. Etienne does not. Give me Nick
Chubb.
Goal
line plunge.
Yep. Give me Nick Chubb. Would you rather Calvin Ridley at the Commanders or Ladd McConkey at the Falcons?
Ladd McConkey.
Give me Ridley.
Yeah. I like, even coming out, I was like, meh, but I'm going to stick with McConkey.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Would you rather Cortland Sutton versus the Browns or Zay Flowers versus the Eagles? I'll take Sutton.
I was going to say, give me Cortland Sutton.
Yep. I kind of ruined that a little bit earlier. I scrolled down quick and I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Would you rather Michael Pittman at the Patriots or Tank Dell at the Jaguars?
Michael Pittman.
Give me Pittman. Tight end. Would you rather Taysom Hill versus the Rams or Cade Otton at the Panthers?
Cade Otton.
Taysom Hill.
Fair enough. I get it, man. It could easily be Hill, but I'll go.
That could easily be Otton. Let's be honest. Would you rather T.J. Hawkinson versus the Cardinals or Evan Ingram versus the Texans?
Give me Hawk.
Give me Ingram. Boy, that feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, give me Evan Ingram. I don't know. Return to Lawrence, Texans. That's where you. I mean, listen, I don't expect running backs for the Jaguars to do really.
No, I think that's a tough game to come back from for Lawrence, though. I mean, but yeah, I definitely think it boosts Ingram up no matter what.
At least for Lawrence, it's home, and at least for the skill players, it's Lawrence.
Right.
Right. So you can go, and at least for them.
I looked hard at Brian Thomas Jr. in the DFS because he had a cheap price point just because of Lawrence.
Struggle. This is where the Texans struggle. Like, you can throw all over the Texans.
Right.
I mean, they're bottom against receivers fantasy points, against quarterback fantasy points. They really are. So they can be a little sneakier though against tight end, but Evan Ingram's not your average tight end either.
No.
So give me Ingram. All right. That's it. We got nothing left. Do you have any final thoughts? Here, how about we do this? My final thought will cover everybody.
Okay.
What are you thankful for?
Man,
I know it can be a laundry list.
it could be.
It's like an acceptance speech. I don't want to forget anyone. There's so many people I'm going to leave off this. So many things.
Yeah, I guess. I give a special shout out. I got baby twins at home. Got two, a boy and a girl. So I'm super grateful, super thankful for them and for their mom for giving me those kids. I mean, so that's like number one on my list right now. I can't help it.
I'll never forget the text.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that text.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, and we just had Thanksgiving yesterday, so family. I mean, that's tough. I got a lot to be thankful for, so I could go on with
Holidays have changed for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I loved it though. We had all the kids yesterday, wrangled them. It was fun.
Don't blink.
About it.
Don't blink.
Oh, my sister was up with her niece, and man, like she's about a little bit over a year older than. No, not quite. Yeah. When she takes off and crawls, I'm like, whoa. She's so fast. Like, man, I'm like, Oliver's like right there. Like he was pushing the car out in front of him last night and like crawling to it, and then he pushed it again and crawled to it. Like he's getting pretty, like when I see my sister's daughter take off, though, I was like, whoa, she's fast.
Yep. Time moves.
Yeah.
Yep. Time changes when you have kids. What else? Anything else?
So much, man. I can't even.
That's top of the list.
I had to give a special spot to, family, just with Thanksgiving and everything. And then Chelsea giving me my kiddos and the kiddos. Great. Love it.
Awesome. Mitchell?
Well, I'm going to ride the family train. My son is definitely going to be my number one pride and joy. Getting into hunting and everything. And he's even he's getting some subscribers to our podcast, too, just so you know.
That's great.
Almost every time I see him, I got one more for you. So appreciate you, boy.
Hooked one in.
Yep. I'm thankful for you, and thankful for another year with my mom. Just property and the place that I'm at. I'm grateful for it all.
Right on, man. Awesome. Yep. Sticking to that train. Wife and son get number one every single time. Thankful for my neighbors who happen to be my brother and my sister-in-law and their 3 kids. That's great. My kid's now in college, so that keeps me young.
No doubt.
I love going down there and just sitting there and taking it in.
Yeah.
Just running around. It's like, oh man, I need this. Like right now more than ever.
Oh man, you just come to my house, Dad. It's nut house.
Yeah, I do need to stop over for a visit again. Julie wants to see them babies. Thank everybody, my parents, you guys, all my friends. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thankful to be here. Thankful to live again. The property was a good one. The land you're able to live on. I love it up here. It's a great place to be. So living on the farm.
Yeah, we're all lucky.
All right, that's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click the corresponding link. They are available as well on our Twitter. Also, check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded, though we're probably about out of time on that. Join us next time for our Week 14 Thursday Night Football 1 o'clock game slate preview. Remember, no more Tuesday episodes. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. It's how we survive. Get some dubs. See you next time, everybody.